So, welcome to the NattyShedLife podcast. Things are a little bit new here. So, we are in the garage studio that Cara has designed up fabulously. And how are you feeling about it? How are you feeling about starting this podcast?
I'm fucking buzzing for it. Let's just get going, eh?
Yeah.
I'm dead excited. I'm so glad it's finally here.
So what are we talking about today? So Gillies Mackay have been nominated for the Courier Business Awards in the family category, which is exciting. How are you feeling about that?
Well deserved. I fully believe that we've already won. Be absolutely devastated, flipping tables if we don't. Yeah.
And so we're doing a series, aren't we? So we're going to start a series of shining a light on each of the members of Gillies Mackay, employees of Gillies Mackay. And this has come about because you did a vote recently.
Aye.
And the vote, what was the category again?
So I think so this was for a different type of award, similar families as well, but it was about like the most sort of the individual within the company that exudes the sort of family values of the company, like who's the person that does that the most type of thing. And like for me to pick one person out of all of us was just not possible. Like I could say that about any one of us. So I threw it back to the team. Yeah. Said, you guys pick amongst yourselves. So yeah.
I think we all struggled with it as well.
Yeah.
I think Callum had said something like, how can I pick only one person? But I think we were all feeling the same about it as well. And who was the winner?
It was Kieran, of course.
And we're going to be talking about Kieran today.
We are. Esquire Kieran Bain.
So, who is Kieran? What is his current role? And what does his day-to-day look like?
Right, okay. So Kieran is the sales manager for Gillies Mackay, and he got that promotion in October 2024. Prior to that, he started with the company as a Saturday boy, and he was like 17 at the time, just a wee young lad. And yeah, he's grown with the business over the past 7 years. He's seen it all, and he's an absolute cracking young man. Fills the boots of that sales manager's role, just unbelievably so. Just very proud of him. His day-to-day, he manages all the consultations, and his little team of Ali and John as well, to welcome customers into the company and take them through the sort of buyer's process, the journey of what it means to be a sheddy. So yeah, that's Kieran pretty much.
And if you could describe Kieran in one sentence, what would that be?
Whoa, right, okay. How I would describe Kieran, genuinely, he's just like a proper happy soul. He really is. He's so interesting and fun to be around. Like, you know you're going to get good crack with Kieran. He's always positive. He's wildly intelligent. Comes away with some of the most hilarious facts, especially at peacetime with the rest of the lads. But he doesn't do it in like a bravado type of way. He's never showing off about the fact that he is clever. He's very considerate and kind to everybody around him, and generally he's just smart when it comes to his work, when it comes to problem solving, and just smart about the business as a whole. Clever guy.
And what was your first memory of Kieran?
Well, he was a Saturday boy, so I didn't really see him much in any great sense. Like, when it was holidays or whatever, then he would spend a bit more time with us. But realistically, like, just off the bat with him, just quiet, unassuming, conscientious of his responsibility, and he had this willingness to do well, willingness to work. I could trust him quite easily, knowing that the customers would be safe with him, and that he would stand up to the Gillies Mackay name, and be nice to folk.
What going back at that time, what impressed you most about Kieran?
Well, he didn't shy away from like taking on more, you know. So any extra time that he could give us or any cover that he could provide, he was always willing to help, and just became like a reliable source for me to know that I could count on him, which is often quite difficult when you're in a small business and there is so few of you and we all have a lot of hats to wear. So to have somebody that's reliable and is there and turns up is a big deal. It is a big deal. It's such a young age as well. You know, it's quite impressionable. So, yeah, no, it was all good things.
And was Kieran the first salesperson that you had in the team at the time?
Yeah, so as sort of time progressed with Kieran, the majority of like how sales were dealt with within the company was lended to myself, and Kieran was sort of assisting in that role, and then he just gathered more and more responsibility when it came to dealing with customers. And as I tried to focus more on like how to grow the business, and look after financials and HR and all the other things that come with the sort of CEO title, Kieran did become more and more responsible, not just with taking orders or dealing with sales, but the process in which how customers were dealt with. You know that firsthand because as you developed the department, Kieran was your right-hand man. So like what was your first impressions and how was your experience with him?
You know, like the first memory I remember of Kieran was a really shy boy at the time. And you're right, he was completely reliable, and he was, you know, he was open-minded to everything that he was faced with within Gillies Mackay at the time. Where his focus was at uni at the time, like he enjoyed what he was doing at Gillies Mackay. Like it was different to him than what he was experiencing outside of Gillies Mackay, and you could see that develop within him over time. And as we were, you know, developing the department and putting the processes in place, like, and Kieran contributed to that, like it became more and more enjoyable for Kieran. You could see that. One of the first memories, and it's a funny memory of Kieran, is when we were doing the order forms, and you have to draw. We were drawing at the time.
Yeah.
He'll remember this as well. And we had to go through how to draw a pen shed. We weren't doing pen sheds very well, so we had to draw up this is how you draw a pen shed. And the both of us were getting confused with the angles all the time, but we got there in the end. And I remember at that time, like speaking to Kieran in his one-on-ones and stuff, like that was one of his biggest achievements at the time. He's like, I could draw a pen shed. So that's one of my favourite memories with Kieran. So looking back now, do you think you knew how important Kieran would become?
It's funny because there's an element where I always assumed that we were just the stepping stone for Kieran, because like he had aspirations to do teaching, and he was clearly an academic, and this was, as far as I was aware at the time, like his calling. Like that was his path, his chosen path. That's where he wanted to go, and we were very supportive of that. We could see it in him, and you know, we were grateful, always hugely grateful for the effort and commitment that he gave to the company. But we understood that it was not forever, to a degree. And then as it got closer and closer. I think it just became clearer to us that there was just absolutely no danger that we were hitting to let this boy go. So we had to make him an offer. And I do believe, like, you know, I can't afford the Gillies Mackay, the company. It can't afford to pay millions of pounds for the worth that these people are. So what we can do, or what's within our control, is the environment that we create for them. And I suppose as the leaders, like, we've just got to hope that that's inviting enough, and that we create the right environment for them to want to stay. So when we made that offer to Kieran, I was quietly confident that he was going to be, yes, this is the right decision for me. I want to stay and I can see myself in G&M. I mean, mainly because of his contribution to the company over the years. And also partly because a lot of it was not just influenced by him, but in some cases made by him. The standard of how we consult, how we sell is Kieran. So yeah, for him not to see that to its full glory, to see it to its fruition, to see it grow, would be a shame. So I'm so glad that he chose to stay. And looking back, I'm massively grateful that we've had this journey together so far. Because yeah, it's just meant to be.
Yeah, I remember like the conversation that we had, and I think we had the conversation in 2023 about like what was going to be our next steps in terms of strategy.
Fucking, I think terrifying.
Yeah, and I think we had funding at the time. It's like, how are we going to spend this money? And like we both like agreed straight away. It was like within the people.
Yeah.
And it was at that moment where we had the money where we could invest in the people. And Kieran was on that list as well as Amy. We'll talk about Amy another day.
Another day.
Yeah. And yeah, it was an absolute no-brainer, and like I'm glad that we both agreed on it. And I remember having the conversation with Kieran at the time when he was made the offer. Like I was worried because I wanted it to be his choice. Like it was absolutely his choice, and that he didn't feel like it was forced upon or anything like that. And knowing Kieran, like he had a love for uni, but he was also struggling with it as well. And he wanted to be a teacher. And like he had mentioned, I remember him mentioning that, and we had the conversation. It's just like, well, what if you could teach here? Like, what if you could teach at Gillies Mackay and be the teacher here? Yeah. And he was just like, oh, I never thought about it, like that before. It's just like, yeah, you could teach in any capacity, like wherever you are. It doesn't necessarily need to be in the academic setting. And I think it was the same night. The same night, he's just like, yes, I'm going for it.
I know.
So, which was a relief, because like I think I wasn't very sure at the time, but I'm glad he did, and he's. Well, we'll get into it, but he's thriving.
Well, it is, because it's like that was the catalyst to so many personal changes for Kieran, just to the identification of him being sales manager. Yeah, like the glow up is sensational. Yeah, like we've all just been absolute fans of it. Like to see him come into his real own.
Was there a specific moment for you where you seen Kieran just step up? Now, like he's always been there, but was there that defining moment for him?
It's hard to say, because as I've already said, like within a small team and a growing business, like there's so many hats that everybody needs to wear, and there's so many things that don't necessarily come under your remit of your job role that you have to do, and there's many cases where lots of us have had to step in and step up under certain circumstances. But for me, for Kieran, there's one that came to mind today, and I'm not saying it's the most challenging or the most difficult, but it's certainly one that I remember. And it was a wee while back, and there was a discrepancy with a complex base and a complex site for a building that was custom, and it was a big project. And for whatever reason, and through no fault of Kieran's, something went wrong with the ground screws for that base in terms of siting them, and the catalyst of that then fell into the ground screws needing to be redone and the building being postponed. And you can imagine, with the communication with a customer that's spending a hell of a lot of money with us, the breakdown could be quite catastrophic. But in that scenario, Kieran held held it all together. He overcompensated for somebody else's error, the embarrassment that he might have felt whilst dealing with the customer on behalf of not just the person who made the mistake, but also the company as a whole and the other company involved. To do that, to step up, to be the one that's accountable for it, it's phenomenal. And then the conversations that he would then have to have with the customer to keep the customer confident in us and being able to provide the resolve. How he managed to do that is testament to him himself, because Kieran has a natural way with the customers. He can build instant trust with them. He cares, he listens, he spends the time, he genuinely wants them to get the best building for their dreams. And that's evident when I think about how this whole scenario played out. And yes, the groundworks needed redone. Yes, the building was postponed. Yes, it was a mass inconvenience to the customer. And yes, there was difficult conversations that had to be had. Kieran did it all impeccably. And I was so proud of him. And at every stage as I watched, I could have intervened. I could have taken over, but I didn't, because I knew that he could do it. And I was so proud of him. So that does play a huge part in an example of what Kieran is capable of and how much he steps up for everyone.
Yeah, I think like what I'm getting for that was like Kieran approaches things with like empathy as well. Like you can see it in the way that he deals with things. Like he has empathy for everyone that's involved in that situation, which guides his way of communicating with people, which results in the types of relationships that he has with the customers, and then which protects the reputation of Gillies Mackay
and of the other staff. Like if you think about how easy it is when the shit hits the fan, like the sort of like the instantaneous reaction of other managers who'd be like, who do I blame? What head do I chop? Whose fault is this? And then the opposite of that is how Kieran does things. And it's how do I understand and where is the resolve?
Yeah.
And that to me is impeccable leadership. Like for him to have that level of maturity at the age that he is, and the just learned experiences that he's got, like that's phenomenal. Like it really is. So I think that is a perfect example of Kieran stepping up. Yeah.
And how's Kieran changed you as a leader?
Oh, Christ. Well, for one, like he makes it so much more enjoyable. I've never met anybody like him. And I feel like personally, like I, as a leader, I'm far more confident and capable because he shows me what the good is that I can do. And I think I'm not saying that that's not the same for lots of other people within the company. And I think if I'm being honest, like it's you and Kieran that do that for me. It's a very lonely place running a business, being the CEO and being the person that everybody can at one time or other hate. It is hard. And when I lead you and Kieran, and when yous are standing next to me, that for me just makes me feel good, in the sense that I feel like I'm doing the right thing. Because oftentimes when you are leading, it is lonely, and you do feel that doubt does creep in. You don't know if you're doing the right thing or whatever. But when I look at you two and I look at the others, I do feel, no, this is good. These people are happy and they're confident in their roles and they know what they're doing and they're enjoying themselves. And that for me, that's what Kieran gives me. It's just that confidence to know that I'm doing the right thing too.
The thing that's coming to my head is like, sometimes we talk about is the balance. So everybody's got their own different ways of doing things and their own different personalities and stuff. And like Kieran is the type of person that like what you've mentioned there brings the balance of what it is to run the business, because you need both, right?
Yeah.
You need the how would I describe it? Like you need the I'm going to say the hardcoreness, right, of the running the business.
Of course, yeah.
But you also need the soft side of it as well. And everybody has their different strengths.
Yeah.
And Kieran's strength definitely is more on a gentler, softer side, but also it has a lot of power behind it as well. That not a lot of people might see or recognise at the time.
Yeah.
And it comes through with how his relationships with his customers and the feedback that Gillies Mackay get from the customers with Kieran as well.
I think also like on a higher level, above like the sales role that he's within, I think if you look at the influences of which Kieran's grown up with in terms of where he's been in Gillies Mackay, and you think about hardcore and you think about soft, and you think about the two people that are sitting here and the ones that have probably been the most influential to Kieran over his time here, people that have mentored him and taught him, I think he's got the best balance of both of us.
Yeah.
I think we are making an evil genius, if I'm honest. Like, he's chosen to go to the good right now, but you know, I mean, those talents, that skill could be used for evil.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Kieran, we're watching you.
Yeah.
If Kieran wasn't here tomorrow, what would you in the business miss most about him?
Yeah. I mean, it's too exhausting to even contemplate an answer to that one. And I mean, it's silly because no business should be built on one individual. Like, if your business is relying on just one person, then that's a bad place to be, and that's fact. And I feel like that with quite a lot of our staff. Like, if they were just not to be here, then I'd be like, oh, I'm fucked. And it comes from a genuine sort of like fundamental belief of my own, which is that we are all born to work together. And that in order for Gillies Mackay to work, for this company to even operate, is that we all, each of us individually, need to turn up and do our fucking job, because we have to do it for each other, because it doesn't work otherwise. And I feel like if Kieran were to leave, would there be a Gillies Mackay? Yes, of course there would. There would be. But would we want it as much as we want it right now? I don't know. And the hardship of what that would bring for me would be it's too fucking painful. And we made him an offer in 2024 and it's like for life. So you better not fucking go anywhere. Yeah. So that's my answer to that question. I refuse to answer, no comment.
You could see it with Kieran though, like in terms of just the last year, in terms of how, because there's been role shifts within the department in terms of like I was the sales marketing director, Kieran was the sales manager, Amy was the marketing manager. Then I've shifted away from the director's role, and you could see, and since that's happened, and hopefully you've seen the same thing as well, just in terms of observations between Amy and Kieran. But again, we'll talk about Amy later. Kieran has created and shifted something of his own within that department already. He did it so quickly, and it's so amazing to see the joy that he's getting from that as well, and what he's doing with that department. And I'm just like the relief for me, just like watching it as well, just this is working, and it's working so bloody well. So have you seen the same thing?
Yeah, totally. And I think room to grow, as simple as that. And you taught them everything that they needed. You gave them all the ingredients for the recipe. Yeah, and they are so well set up. And that's testament to you of their creation and how the departments are running now. And you've done. If I can draw comparisons to different departments that I wish I had done as good a job as you've done with the sales and marketing, and what that could look like, and the struggles that I still have today with long established departments, I think, Christ, I'll get there. But ultimately, yours is the exemplar. what they two do, and how sales and marketing are run. Like Kieran's, the way that Kieran teaches his staff, it's just incredible. Alistair's a carbon copy. He's sensational. So yeah, extremely proud.
I think one of the things that you do for Kieran specifically is you instill confidence in him. I think that's something that I struggled with, but that's what, again, it's the balance.
Yeah, it's the balance,
and that's what you do, is you instill the confidence. When I'm like, after he's had a talk with you, he's just like, yes, I can do this.
Yeah.
You can see it in him, and he admires you. Like the amount of talks, like the one-on-ones and stuff that we have had, like that guy, like loves you to the bones. He probably wouldn't use that word, but he does. He really admires you, and you're like, as a leader, you instill confidence with him, and it's beautiful to see that in terms of how he reacts to that and grows with that as well. And he's kind of at a stage now where it's like, right, Kieran, it's time to go. You're like, you can do this. You've got it. Like, not that you're on your own, but it's just like, Kieran, you've got this now.
Yeah, I definitely see it, and you can see that that's now what he's instilling in his people too. And even out with his department, like when I see him, like what he's like with the rest of the team, you know, like operationally wise as well, like he's a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like there's a reason why he got the vote. You know, he's a proper celebrity. He's everyone's favourite. And it's good, and he deserves it. He deserves the kudos. He deserves the back pats. He deserves it. He works so fucking hard. Yeah,
he does. Kieran's future.
Yes.
Where do you see him going?
Well, it's an exciting company to be in. We are growing, and we'll continue to grow, because that's the type of business that we are. We're in a growth business. It means that the generation that we're in right now, we have to accept, and we have to be accepting of the fact that we may not see the fruition of our hard work. We might not see the fruits of our labour, because we've just got to trust that when we pass it on to the next generation, that they are then going to look after it from there. So that's a prominent sort of thing that I have to say to myself a fair bit. You know, I'm not getting any younger, nearly 32. So got to think about, like, you know, my future in the company, and, you know, what that looks like 10, 15 years from now. And when I think about Kieran, I can see that he could go wherever he wants to go, wherever he wants to take it. Kieran's capable of it. I believe that. Because there's certain things, there's like certain attributes in terms of like resilience and ability, the ability to be able to visualize a dream that's big enough to hold everybody else's in. You know, those types of behaviors. That really has to, that's really what's spelling out what a CEO looks like. And I believe that Kieran's got that capability in him, if that's what he would choose. It's a definite yes. And, you know, he's slightly younger than me, so he's got a few more years in him. So, yeah, see what the future holds.
Fabulous. And we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
What does Kieran mean to you personally?
Personally.
Like, he's by your side on this journey.
Yeah, so. He very much is. And I think that's really it. He makes me feel more confident and more capable in delivering the success of what Gillies Mackay needs to be. Not wants to be, needs to be. This company has a lot riding on it. This is built for legacy. And having Kieran by my side just makes it that little bit sweeter, that easier to do. Yeah, that's what he means to me. Thank you.
Well done, Kieran.
Well done, lad.
So that's it for today's episode, celebrating all things Kieran.
Mm-hmm. And next time we'll be discussing Aaron, our finishing joiner. Aaron, who's recently just become an apprentice as well, which is a bit exciting. So something a bit more fruity. And so hope you've enjoyed it. And if you want to know anything about how a business like this is run, then please get in touch and we'll do our best to answer next time. Hope you have a lovely day. Thanks very much.
See ya.
Bye.
facing the fucking camera. That's the fucking thing.
Is it psyching you out?
Bastard.
Look at the camera, Nick.
It's because I can't see myself in the camera. See when you're doing like zooms and stuff, like
Yeah.
that's easier, I think. Anyway,
It's my mom.
no, that's fake. That's so fake.
I love that. I was like.
Cha-ching!